In this exercise, we're going to show you how to do the grading along the left and the right edge of our gravel driveway here. To do the grading, we're going to use linear templates along the left and the right edge of our driveway here, similar to the template that we used to do the grading around the cell tower site here. So we're going to first take a look at our template. We're going to go up to our template library here. And I have a template in here called EC Cut Fill Driveway. And this is very similar to the one we used for the tower yard. So we're going to close this. And we want to place a linear template first along our right edge. So we'll start with the right edge of drive first, and then we'll go over to the left edge of drive. So we're going to go to Model Detailing, Apply Linear Template, and it's going to prompt us to locate the element to apply the template to. So I'm going to select my right edge of drive. So select that. Press the Alt and Down key on your keyboard. Opens up the template library, and we want to make sure we select the EC Cut Fill Driveway template. Now, this is a different template than the cut fill. It may look similar, but it is a little bit different because I have it searching for some other things in here in our model. So we're just going to click OK on that and left click to accept. And then for the start station, we'll begin at 0 plus 0, 0. So you can press Alt to lock to the start station. And then for end station, I want to key in 0 plus 64.40. And then for our reflection side, we want to make sure we're to the outside of our right edge of our driveway. So move your cursor to the outer edge here. Left click to accept. You'll see the temporary graphic placed there showing you the limits of the linear template. And our external corner sweep angle, we'll just leave that set for a default of 5. Left click to accept. And for description, we'll key in right EOD grading. And left click to accept. And that's going to go through and place the linear template along our right edge of our driveway. So now we'll do that same process for the left side. So come over here and select the left edge of drive. We'll use the same template, so we'll just left click to accept. Starting station will be 0 plus 0, 0. Ending station will be the same, so we'll key that in at 0 plus 64.4. Left click to accept. Make sure the reflection side is set to the outside of the left edge of driveway. See the temporary graphic placed there. Left click to accept. Key in a description. This one we'll call left EOD grading. Then left click to complete. So then now the grading is placed along our edges of our driveway. Now, one thing we need to take a look at here, and is if we zoom in a little bit closer here, everything looks okay from far away, but when you look at this a little bit closer, you're going to see we have some areas of overlap here, as well as the template's not actually targeting or connecting to our side road corridor here or our tower yard grading. So we need to address a couple things here. We need to have this grading to not only connect to the existing ground terrain model, which it does here, but we also need it to connect to the grading here on the London Road corridor as well as the grading on our tower yard corridor. So right now it's just targeting existing ground. So I want to show you how we can override that and have these linear templates target these other corridors as well as existing ground. So we're going to do that by using a tool called target aliasing. And target aliasing will allow us to target other corridors as well as terrains or features, and it also allows us to set up a prioritized target list. So let me show you how we can do that. But before we do that, I want to turn on and change my display mode here to wireframe so you can better see what's going on with these slopes here. So you can see that these side slopes for the driveway, they're obviously not connecting to the tower yard, they're not connecting to the side road, they're just going straight down to the existing ground terrain. So that's why we're going to do this target aliasing procedure to make it target these side slopes here. So we'll go up to corridors and we'll go to define target aliasing. This is going to allow us to override or add a prioritized list of targets that we can use. So I'm going to first select my left edge of drive here, linear template. You're going to notice a define target alias box comes up here, and you have all these available targets, or you have terrain models and corridors that you can target. So we want to target our Tower Yard, and we want to target our London Road, because those are the two other items in our model here that we need these slopes to tie into for our driveway. So I'm going to select both of those, hit apply, and you're going to see in the model now that the slopes change on the left edge of the drive. So let me rotate this around so you can better see that. You can see now the slopes now tie to the Tower Yard grading here, as well as the London Road corridor. Now we want to do that same procedure for the right grading on the right side of our driveway. So we'll go up again to target aliasing, select our right edge of driveway, linear template. We'll scroll down here, and we'll select our Tower Yard grading corridor and our London Road. We'll hit apply. And in the 3D model, you should see that grading update. Okay, now at this point, what we want to do is we still have some overlapping slopes here. So we're connected here, but we have some overlap between the Tower Yard grading and the driveway grading, as well as the side road over here. So we can fix that by using something called corridor clipping. And corridor clipping will allow us to remove those areas of overlap in our model. So I'm going to go back over here and change my display to illustration, ignore lighting once again. And then we're going to go and use a new tool called corridor clipping to clean up these areas of overlap. So the first area I want to take a look at is here where I have my Tower Yard terrain model and the driveway grading where it overlaps there. So I want to go up to corridor clipping, and I'm going to add a clipping reference. So the corridor that we want to clip is going to be this Tower Yard. Okay, so we want to select the Tower Yard grading here. So select that linear template. That's going to prompt us to locate our first clipping reference. Well, what do you want to clip? What do you want to clip there? So we want to clip out our left edge of driveway grading and our right edge of driveway grading. And we're going to right click to complete that. And it's going to go through, and you can see it removes the areas of overlap there. So it cleans it up quite nicely, which is what we want. Now that we have this area over here cleaned up with our slopes and our grading, let's go ahead and adjust our terrain model and add our tie-down features back into our terrain. So we have a tie-down feature for our right edge of our driveway here. We also have a tie-down feature here on our left edge of our drive, and then we also have our tie-down feature for our cell tower site. So let's go and add those features back into our terrain model so we get a more complete terrain. So I'm going to go up to terrain modeling tools. So we'll go up to terrain, feature management. We'll say add features. We'll locate our terrain model. So select your terrain model here. Then you want to go and select our construction limit feature or our tie-down feature for our driveway grading. So I want to select the left side and then select the right side. Make sure you're selecting the 3D feature and not the component meshes. So I'm going to select the right construction limit feature. Then you want to go over here and select our construction limit feature or our tie-down feature for our Tower Yard. So I'm going to select that. And I'll right click when I'm complete. Now we want to set those as a boundary feature type. So I'm going to set those to boundary. And it's going to add those features to the terrain. So now we have all of our grading features added. Now you're going to also notice that the contours disappear on the driveway surface here, and that's because when we created these driveway elements and added them to our terrain, we created those as boundary feature types, so it's preventing any kind of triangulation and contours from appearing through here. So what we need to do is change these edge of driveway features back to just being break line feature types so that we can get our triangles and contours to create properly through this area. So let's go and do that real quick. So we're going to go to change feature type, so we'll go up to terrain model, terrain modeling tools, we'll go to change feature type. So let me select change feature type, and we want to select brake line because we want to change these edge of driveway features to be brake line features, because recall previous exercises we changed that feature type to boundary. So let's change these to brake line features. So it's going to prompt us to locate our terrain linear feature, so we can just come in here and we can just select our left edge of driveway and then select our right edge of driveway and then reset to complete, and then left click to set that as a brake line, and then it'll update the terrain, and then now you'll see the contours going across the driveway. So you can see we have the cell tower pretty much complete at this point, but we do still have some area of overlap here that we need to address, and we can fix that by going into our side road corridor here and doing some clipping. So we used clipping references over here. We did some corridor clipping over here to fix up these overlapping slopes. So now we're going to use that same tool and fix the overlapping slopes here, but we have to go into the other corridor to do that. So we have this other roadway corridor here. This is called London Road. We're going to open up that file and we're going to do some corridor clipping there to clean up these areas of overlap. So I'm going to save my settings here. We're going to go up and open the London Road corridor. Now the London Road corridor already has our cell tower site referenced in. So you can see here there's our 3D model of our cell tower site. And then now all we have to do is use our corridor clipping tool and clip out these areas of overlap here with our grading. So I'm going to go up to corridors. Once again, we'll go to corridor clipping, say add clipping reference. It's going to prompt us to select the corridor to be clipped. Well, we want to clip this London Road corridor. Okay, this is our main line or our side road corridor, so I'm going to select that. It's going to prompt us to locate our first clipping reference. Well, in this particular case, we want to use the actual terrain model. So we have this whole terrain here and this whole graded surface in this area that's overlapping these slopes. So I'm going to select this terrain model. So I'm going to select the tower yard terrain as our clipping reference. And I'm going to right click to complete. And it's going to go through and do some processing, and it's going to remove the areas of overlap there. So you can see it cleans that up quite nicely with the side road corridor or the mainline corridor for London Road. So you can see how that connects up quite nicely, just like we want. We have our little drive apron there and our sidewalk, and then now we have our gravel drive with all of our grading along the outside edges.